Hello again, YouTube! This is Dr. Kendo, and I'm here with Scribblenauts Unlimited, the object editor commentaries. Look at this Funtime Kendo! Yeah, that's right. I edited my avatar to have a little Dr. Kendo puppet and to be all fun-timey. But anyway, we're gonna start off with Gabriel Leon as the source object for today's creations, which, if Funtime Kendo was any indication of what we're gonna be creating, yes. We're making Funtime Freddy and Funtime Foxy by their sister location designs, of course, so Five Nights at Freddy's sister location, obviously. Gabriel Leon is mostly for the torso, is kind of why we decided on this character as the source object in Scribblenauts, and of course Gabriel Leon is one of the 5th cell members, so they are very good to use for a lot of different things in Scribblenauts. But anyway, we've got a golem taking kind of that upper thigh piece, I guess, in the back for the golem. That's going to not only be the thighs for Funtime Freddy, but also the other parts of his leg, or his legs. Then a treant, the foot of a treant, and I really like the treant foot because it's got the little toes on it and whatnot, but I also used it for the FNaF world designs and things. But then we've taken the shoulder piece from a golem, so also going in with the golem, and you just take that back shoulder piece, and that's going to be for the toes on Funtime Freddy, and then that same thigh piece is what we're going to also use for the arms. So you can see here, now we're kind of editing up Funtime Freddy's arms, and I am going to make these slightly bent because Funtime Freddy not only has a microphone in one hand, but he's also got the awesome Bonnie puppet, or what we presume is going to be Bonnie, and it looks like either a toy Bonnie or FNaF World Bonnie design because it's blue. But anyway, I'm going to go with a clown nose for the microphone hand, and that might actually be covered up based on the design that I'm going to do. You'll see in a little bit. You know, there's going to be a lot of components actually to our Funtime Freddy, but a mammoth taking the front legs, but the one that's in the back, and it's that upper leg piece above the shin. Well, that's going to be for like the belly for Funtime Freddy here, and then ball twice is what we're going to have for the buttons, and a circle with kind of a color pattern that looks, you know, microphone-y, you know, find whichever one you really like, but a bow tie above that, and then we're going to have a machete, as interesting as that could be, but the machete is basically just for some top stuff kind of here below the chin, where the chin is going to be, I guess I should say, and a road hump is going to be like the shoulder coloration right there, the purpley pink. But normally whenever I'm doing this part right here, this is just properties editor and scripting stuff. Usually I read background information and fun facts. I did just want to say, of course, Funtime Freddy and Funtime Foxy are from Five Nights at Freddy's sister location. As I said before, there was obviously a Funtime Foxy in FNaF World, but clearly this video and creation episode highlights the sister location designs. I do want to make a separate statement, however, in lieu of background info or fun facts on the characters. Fan bases are passionate about whatever they're a fan of, and the respective characters of that medium. I get that. But something that I see plaguing YouTube, and I even see on my channel, is a certain degree of negativity in the comments sections. I'm fortunate on YouTube that I have my own devoted fan base, but I also just get so many positive words coming my way. I just do want to say, though, that whenever I create Five Nights at Freddy's characters before any of their games have been officially released, the irrational nitpicking gets a little bit out of hand. You guys know that the franchise is mired in theories, guesses, strong opinions, and passionate people about those theories or opinions. But with the matter at hand, sister location, you know, the game is not out at the time of this commentary and uploading, which is June 12th, 2016. Just mark my words, there's no need for the negative nitpicks, and there will be a more in-depth episode like I did with Five Nights at Freddy's 4 characters when that game came out. The in-depth commentary will go over all of the main animatronics of sister location once it launches, and thank you. Starting off with the glue as the source object. No, I didn't forget the Bonnie puppet. It's right here. So we've got a fez as the sort of main body of the puppet. A ball is going to be the one button right there, and a bow tie, of course, and then a 10th page from the 29-page library. So on the 10th page, there's a green arm, like a mutant arm. That's going to be for the nose, the little black part of the nose. A head for the head, and then a jaw below that. And then, of course, bubble is going to be for the white part of the eyes, with pearl being the little colored part right there in the eyes. And then a pimple is going to be for the pupil within the eyes, as well as the pimple's also going to be for some shine, glimmer, glisten within the eyes as well. And on the 3rd page of the 29-page library, there is an arm that's going to be that muzzle or snout area for the Bonnie puppet right here. And since we are going to run out of stamp space, I know, I'm going to want to include, of course, the the arms, making it wave, because the Funtime Freddy was awesome in the Sister Location trailer, how he was making the Bonnie puppet wave to the crowd or whatever on stage. It was pretty amazing, but bunny ears is what we're just gonna have to use to have one stamp instead of like 4 stamps to convey the bunny ears. And so right here, I'm just basically making a golden egg with golem thigh pieces to make the arms. The golden egg is like where the hand is for the puppet. But you can see the message right now is that the stamp limit has been reached with this one last little piece. So this is all that we're going to be able to fit in. If you guys didn't know, Scribblenauts Unlimited does have a limited amount of stamp space. Stamps are basically any objects that you use to create your overall object or character. So you do have a limit. A croissant is what I used for the little paws of the Bonnie puppet, and a hemisphere shape is just down for the palm, you know, for that other color part right there for his waving hand. And so it looks like we can move on though, but one thing that I did want to note is that with Funtime Freddy, you know, with Gabriel Leon as the source object, you do want to keep the feet kind of, or the whole legs, closer to the torso. You know, I started off making them kind of far away from it and making the legs that way, but you do want it to be a little bit closer together, all with the source character. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyway, we've got a head as the source object with golem shoulder pieces right now to be not only the muzzle nose area, but also the eye holes, you know, the black right there. Bubble is going to be for the white parts of the eyes, and a pearl for the cheeks of Funtime Freddy's head here. And so I'm trying to get the right color blue for his eyes, which is of course a ball 2 times is what we can use for the colored parts of his eyes. And then you can either use, you know, a ball, a pea, any kinds of small circular shape, you know, for the pupil of the eyes. And then on the 20th page of the 29-page library, there is this bended arm. That's what I've used for his eyebrows, and a top hat for his hat. And there's going to be a line going down the middle of his face, and that's like the a lot of the Sister Location animatronics, you know, you saw in the trailer. Those 4 that appeared, they did have their faces, you know, were able to like come apart and then get back together and stuff. And so where the little dividers are in their faces is a squid upper tentacle piece here in Scribblenauts. And I've used dentures. You can also type in Gnasher. That's what I've used for the mouth right there. It's really the teeth mostly is what I wanted from that. And then an eyebrow is going to be sort of the connecting jaw piece to that. And instead of a rectangle, I'm actually going to go with a mango spear. So I took the rectangle away. 2 bubbles for each ear. And anyway, the mango spear, what I forgot to mention just now is that I painted it all black just to show the space in his mouth. And we did do another squid upper tentacle piece for some more of that head divider space right there on the side. So that's all looking good. I really do like the Funtime Freddy head design right here. I used some similar kind of designs, I guess, of the original Freddy from FNaF World, so it will look a little bit similar to that. But of course, you guys probably who didn't watch the whole video yet are complaining already about this, but I did create the mic as a separate thing, so no, I did not forget it. Again, Scribblenauts Unlimited has a stamp limit, and so we've actually made the head and the body separate, and we even had to make the Bonnie puppet and the microphone separate. But notice that I used 29-page library arm shapes to be the little fingers on his microphone, so it actually does look like Funtime Freddy is grasping that mic, and I thought that was really cool, but it's just using glue again as the source object, just like the Bonnie puppet, and we're basically just gluing them to his arms, you know. So here you can see I can take away the Bonnie puppet for a second, and one thing that might help you to place it on in the correct spot is to, of course, give the adjective still to your Funtime Freddy, and then that'll make it stand still and you can give it the puppet. So that's all good, and you guys saw, of course, Baby, my design for Baby, what we presume is called Baby, is on the level as well there with Funtime Freddy, but we are going to go with a female Space Marine as the source object for our next character, which is going to be the final character of this video. We will create Ballora or Mini-Rena or whatever you guys are calling the ballerina animatronic. We will create that in another episode. We've got plenty of time. But yeah, with the Space Marine, the female Space Marine, you just want to remove the limbs except for really just remove the head. Whenever you see me keeping on the legs of any source character, source object, but then you see me moving them down and shrinking them really small, that's because Scribblenauts Unlimited does have kind of a bug basically where if you remove the legs of the source source object, then your character is really going to sink into the ground, even more than mine are already going to appear to have been sunken into the ground, because as you can see, I used the golem's thigh piece for the thighs here for Funtime Foxy as well, but also a viper fish, this kind of front fin. You know, it looks pink for the viper fish, but I painted it, of course, gray and white to go down for the rest of the legs on Funtime Foxy. And a corned beef is going to be for the gray panels and stuff in the thighs right there, and a bow tie. We got sticky hands for the hands, and kangaroo, I used the arm of a kangaroo. It doesn't matter if it's the front or the back one, really, but those arms are kind of making up this chest panel that goes from the chest down really towards the hips, and there on the hips or pelvis is the body of a mola or a sunfish. You could type in either one. So I've done PEA 3 times to be the little black circles there down low on Funtime Foxy's shins, basically, or on the legs. And then I've got chicken feed, and this is going to be, again, for saving stamp space, but what we've done basically is just taken the 3 chicken feed pieces on the end. Whenever you type in chicken feed, you know, there's just a lot of little dots of the chicken feed. Well, that's what I have used for the 3 dots on the other side, because again, you can see we actually have reached the stamp limit, which is saying, you know, you've got to delete some other stamps if you want to include anything else. You know, we have reached the limit. Ivory twice was for the tail, 1 pink, 1 white, and monster. I took the foot of a monster for the feet for Funtime Foxy on both sides. And then, of course, that circle once again over the chest, which is like that little speaker. And so, you know, there was a lot I really wanted to include on Funtime Foxy. I wish we could have done a little bit more with the design, but the other thing to remember, I guess, is just that, you know, you could use glue if you want to, I guess, make the hands separately. You know, that might be a way that you could save some stamp space on your torso or your body object right here that you can see. But for the hands right here, other than the sticky hands, I also just used the mola body to go over those hands as well, since there is a pink part to that, you know, on the palms and on the back side of the hands. And so then, of course, you see a mostly finished Funtime Foxy head. We do need to add a few more details, but I'll just show you guys how I made this. Of course, a head is the source object, and then doe is going to be for the snout. And then we've got a worm. The middle body piece for the worm right there, painted black, is going to be the end for the nose, the black part. And then I'm going into the 29-page library once again on the 10th page to grab that green mutant arm. That's going to be for the lipstick pieces, you know, that are on the top and the bottom lip right there. And then we're going to type in fossil, and fossil will give you the option for a partial fossil or a full fossil. And so you do want the full one, and just take the bottom jaw right there because it's got the teeth and whatnot right there. And then I've just typed in a Camptosaurus, and we take the bicep, but the one that's in the back. So we've taken that, and we're going to place it down kind of to either side of the Funtime Foxy head. That's going to be for the kind of right where the cheeks are, you know, that's going to be the puffing out hair and whatnot right there. A pearl is not only going to be for the cheeks, the colory cheeks, but also the colored parts of the eyes right there. And dolphin right now, if you can just take kind of that middle piece, you know, if you put your, you know, if let's say if you're playing on Wii U, you're going to want to put the stylus just below that fin, because you can only see one fin on the dolphin. So what we're really wanting though is that back fin, so that it doesn't have the joint dot on it where it connects. So again, go for the back fin of the dolphin rather than the front one. And then golem shoulder piece is going to be for the pink parts of the eyes back there. Bubble is going to be for the white parts, but then grass is what we used for the hair. There are 3 little prongs, and of course grass has 4 on it, so I actually just made the back ear, which is those dolphin fin pieces. That back ear is kind of covering up that other part of the grass stamp. And so freckles can be right next to the nose right there. You just saw me put it away. And then I used PEA. Again, P is what we've used for the pupils within the eyes. The stamp limit has been reached because I just put on the second eyebrow right there. So squid upper tentacle piece, of course, for the face divider. But those eyebrows, if it wasn't clear, are 29-page library arm shapes from the 20th page. And just so that I'm mentioning it, you know, I've mentioned this in almost every episode that I do a separate head and body in. But if you do ever create your objects with the body separate from the head and then give the head to the body object, what you want to do is script the head object under the equipment tab so that it can be worn on the face like glasses, or it can be worn on the head like a hat. Usually, to me, glasses kind of fits in the right spot. And then, of course, edit your body object and just make sure that the green grid for where the head is gonna go is, centered high enough or low enough and kind of all fits in the right spot for your head object. But there they are. We've got the fun times now with Baby, and again, the ballerina animatronic is gonna be in a different episode, so no, I did not forget it, because I know that's coming. But anyway, much love to everybody out there, and of course, I will catch you on the next vid, and thanks for viewing. Down the road of twists and turns, always anxious to see what's within. We can look ahead to the point of no return, to the rest of our lives let the spectacle begin. I've been down the road of twists and turns, always anxious to see what's within.